By Annabeth's estimate, we had less than 24 hours to find Grover, assuming that my dream was accurate, and assuming the Cyclops Polyphemus didn't change his mind and try to marry Grover earlier. Yeah, I said bitterly. You can never trust a Cyclops. Annabeth stared across the water. I'm sorry, Percy. I was wrong about Tyson, okay? I wish I could tell him that. I tried to stay mad at her, but it wasn't easy. We'd been together, and we've been through a lot together. She saved me plenty of times. It was stupid of me to resent her. I looked down at our measly possessions, the empty wind thermos, the bottle of multivitamins. I thought about Luke's look of rage when I tried to talk to him about his dad. Annabeth, what's Chiron's prophecy? She pursed her lips. Percy, I shouldn't... I know Chiron promised the gods he wouldn't tell me, but you didn't promise, did you? Knowledge isn't always good for you. Your mom is the wisdom goddess. I know, but every time heroes learn the future, they try and change it, and it never works. The gods are worried about something I'll do when I get older, I guessed. Something when I turn 16. Annabeth twisted her Yankees cap in her hands. Percy, I don't know the full prophecy, but it warns about a half-blood child of the big three. The next one who lives to the age of 16. That's the real reason Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades swore a pact after World War II not to have any more kids. The next child of the big three who reaches 16 will be a dangerous weapon. Why? Because the hero will decide the fate of Olympus. He or she will make a decision that either saves the age of the gods or destroys it. I let that sink in. I don't get seasick, but suddenly I felt ill. That's why Kronos didn't kill me last summer. She nodded. You could be very useful to him. If he can get you on his side, the gods will be in serious trouble. But if it's me, in the prophecy... Well, we only know that you'll survive 3 more years. That can be a long time for a half-blood. When Chiron first learned about Thalia, he assumed she was the one in the prophecy. That's why he was so desperate to get her safely to camp. When she went down fighting, it got turned into a pine tree, and none of us knew what to think. Until you came along. On our port side, a spiky green dorsal fin about 15 feet long crawled out of the water and disappeared. This kid in the prophecy, he or she couldn't be like a Cyclops? I asked. The big three have a lot of monster children. Annabeth shook her head. The oracle said, a half-blood. That always means half human, half god. There's really nobody alive who it could be except you. Then why did the gods even let me live? Wouldn't it be safer to kill me? You're right. Thanks a lot. Percy, I don't know. I guess some of the gods would like to kill you, but they're probably afraid of offending Poseidon. Other gods, maybe they're still watching you, trying to decide what kind of hero you're going to be. You could be a weapon for their survival, after all. The real question is, what will you do in 3 years? What decision will you make? Did the prophecy give any hints? Annabeth hesitated. Maybe she wouldn't have told me more. Maybe she would have. But just then, a seagull swooped down out of nowhere and landed on our makeshift mast. Annabeth looked as startled as the bird dropped a small cluster of leaves into her lap. Land, she said. There's land nearby. I sat up. Sure enough, there was a line of blue and brown in the distance. Another minute and I could make out an island with a small mountain in the center, a dazzling white collection of buildings, a beach dotted with palm trees, and a harbor filled with a strange assortment of boats. The current was pulling our rowboat towards what looked like a tropical paradise. Welcome, said the lady with the clipboard. She looked like a flight attendant. A blue business suit, perfect makeup, hair pulled back in a ponytail. She shook our hands as we stepped onto the dock. With the dazzling smile she gave us, you would have thought we'd just gotten off of the Princess Andromeda rather than a banged-up rowboat. Then again, a rowboat wasn't the weirdest ship in the port. Along with a bunch of pleasure yachts, there was a U.S. Navy submarine, several dugout canoes, and an old-fashioned 3-masted sailing ship. There was a helipad with a Channel 5 Fort Lauderdale helicopter on it, and a short runway with a Learjet and a propeller plane that looked like a World War II fighter plane. Maybe they were replicas for tourists to look at or something. Is this your first time with us? The clipboard lady inquired. Annabeth and I exchanged looks. Annabeth said, First time at spa, the lady said as she wrote on the clipboard. Let's see. She looked us up and down critically. An herbal wrap to start for the young lady, and of course, a complete makeover for the young gentleman. What? I asked. She was too busy jotting down notes to answer. Right, she said with a breezy smile. Well, I'm sure Cece will want to speak with you personally before the luau. Come, please.